Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
Bonus episode, baby. I am so excited about a Boba Fett trailer that dropped, and I've got to discuss it. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this bonus episode of Two Geeks and a Microphone. I'm your co-host, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with the one, the only Fett fan himself, Michael Shanks.
Good morning to all you Boba geeks out there.
Hey, as you all know, Mike is a huge fan of Boba Fett. And you know what happened this week? Mike, tell us what happened this week.
We got the trailer for Book of Boba Fett.
Yes. Nice figure there, by the way. He's got his Boba Fett figure on his desk.
That is the re-release of the vintage Boba Fett, by the way.
Nice.
Love it.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, I have to tell you, this trailer is a long time coming.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we've been waiting. Let's see. Okay, so season 2 of The Mandalorian wrapped up last December? When did it wrap up?
I just know it was that last episode, and we talked about it, loved it, blah, 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 and then realized after we had recorded, there was a after credit scene, and it was all about Book of Boba Fett.
Right, yeah.
We were like, what?
Yeah, in fact, I didn't know until I went to work. I think it was at work. Somebody said, did you watch the after credit? I was like, there was an after credit scene? Or maybe somebody commented on Facebook. I don't remember. But somebody said to me, did you watch the after credit? And I was like, there's an after credit scene? No.
And we were both like, what?
And they're like, you have to watch the after credit because you're going to love it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So
right.
And then I was totally blown away.
Oh, it was great. Yep, it was great. All right, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to play the trailer. Hopefully we'll have the video up for everybody. This is not technically a reaction video because we've watched it already, because you ain't going to keep no Boba Fett trailer for us from seeing it to wait to do a show on it.
That is very true. In fact, you texted me Monday, and you're like, hey, the Boba Fett trailer's dropped, and I was
like an hour after it dropped, I got it to you. Yeah.
No, I honestly did not watch it till I got home because I was at work and I just was too busy, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to watch this on my phone. I want to watch this on my television.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Certain ones you got to watch on TV.
Yeah, good call. Yeah.
Some trailers I can be like, oh yeah, I can just watch this on my phone. Who cares? But we're talking Boba Fett here. The ultimate bounty hunter. Got to watch it on TV.
Right on. So we're gonna play it. So hopefully everybody can hear it as it goes through, because we want to reference some things that pop up in it and talk about it. This is not really a trailer breakdown as much as it is our discussion about it. So, what we like and what we hope happens and stuff. So, all right, Mike, anything else you want to add as I'm getting this set up to?
I think we're good. Let's go.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Have we seen that creature before?
Yes.
I am not a bounty hunter.
Return of the Jedi.
Oh, he looks so
I've
good.
heard otherwise.
He looks so cool.
I know that you sit on the throne of your former employer.
Jabba ruled with fear. I intend to rule with respect.
Interesting.
You were all once captains under Jabba the Hutt.
I'm here to make a proposal that's mutually beneficial. Why speak of conflict when cooperation can make us all rich?
What prevents us all from killing you and taking what we want?
If you had spoken such insolence to Jabba, he'd have fed you to his menagerie.
Please. Speak freely.
Nice. Please speak freely. Too bad we don't have our friend Mark Anthony Austin on to say that.
Wouldn't that be great to have him? That would be fantastic. We you know what? Maybe we can contact him when the show comes out if he wants to join us for that.
Yeah, I think I will try and get him on. If nothing else, get him on at the end of the season and kind of do a wrap up with him. I think that would be awesome. But yeah, I'll work on that one.
Right? Yeah, see with his schedule and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Before he wants to join us. Yeah. Because he was fun. He's a lot of fun.
He is a lot of fun. And what better guest to have, for a Boba Fett discussion than Boba Fett himself? I mean,
that's right.
It's not the Boba Fett that's, it's not Tamara Morrison, but he is a Boba Fett. So
he is a Boba Fett. Yeah, he is, and he's a fun Boba Fett.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Have you seen his cameo stuff, by the way? Mark
oh
Anthony
no,
Austin
I haven't seen the cameo stuff.
He's on Cameo, and he does it. They are pretty good. With what he does.
We might have to purchase a cameo.
Get a cameo. I think we should.
That'd be fun.
We'll do it.
That would be fun.
We'll send him a note saying, "Hey, we're going to send you a cameo. We appreciate you being on the show, but we thought it'd be kind of fun and blah 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 and stuff." So
cool.
All right. Well, with that, let's talk this trailer.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
it's fabulous trailer. What was your biggest fun moment in that whole trailer? What was the biggest thing you were like, oh, let's just start off with our fun stuff that we like?
I mean, the funnest thing was the fact that Fennec Shand says, if you had spoken to Jabba that way, he would have fed you to his menagerie.
Yeah, right.
And then Boba Fett says, "Speak freely." I love it.
Yeah, I like the aspect that he. I guess what I picked up out of is rather than ruling out of fear, he wants to rule out of respect.
Yeah.
And I'm like, give me, me in story. I'm like, this is going to be intriguing.
Yeah, it's an interesting take for him. Because I'm not sure what exactly he's going to do,
Right.
So, yeah, it gives a little mystery to the show right out of the gate.
Yeah, this gets me all kinds of speculation going on, speculatory stuff going on. Because, in leadership, just speaking of leadership and stuff, with ruling with respect, and then you look in the rest of the trailer, you see him fighting with other guys and other people and stuff and how they're, politicking going on, I'm sure. But it makes me wonder, the beginning, that's how he starts. He wants to rule with respect, but because of all the bad employees, kind of a thing with them fighting and stuff, he has to learn to rule with an iron hand. I wonder if that's the progression. That's just me guessing and speculating.
Well, I mean,
kind of character arc.
There's got to be a little tension there. I mean,
absolutely.
You're talking a bunch of bounty hunters,
right?
I mean, they're all killers.
What's the phrase of Mos Eisley? Because I always thought attributed that to kind of Jabba's palace kind of a thing. Wretched, what does he call it? Wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah, this is a wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Yes. So, that's just that's what I think it's going to be, and all that fighting and stuff. I think it's going to be interesting.
Now, that scene that we see with the city, that big shot with the city.
Yes.
I don't think we're at Mos Eisley.
No, not at all. I don't think that's Mos Eisley. I agree with you.
And I question if it's even Tatooine. Are we off planet there? I know at one point we were on planet because we see Jabba's palace.
Yes.
Which, speaking of that, you had commented when we were watching the video when we saw the spider
creature that was really cool at the beginning. Yeah.
Okay, so what that spider is, this is weird. I just learned this too. That spider, if you notice, it has a jar with a brain in it.
Is that what's in there?
Yes, it's a brain. The brain is of some, they're called Bobarian monks or something like this. Yeah.
Okay.
And what it is, these Bobarian monks actually, don't ask me how, I don't know how this works, but they remove their brains because it supposed to be like the height,
their consciousness, or whatever.
Their consciousness or whatever. And they put them in these spider creatures to get them around. And Jabba's palace was actually their temple or whatever. Right. And Jabba took it over.
Weird. So
in Return of the Jedi, when 3PO is coming into Jabba's palace, we get the scene where Jabba and 3PO and R2 come up to the doors, and 3PO knocks, and okay, nobody's home, let's go.
Right.
And the little Ring doorbell thing pops out.
Yeah, Ring doorbell.
Jabba's version of Ring doorbell, and yes. You get that and so 3PO is talking to it, and then it lets him in. And when 3PO comes walking in, you see that one of those spider things with the brain come walking by him, and he went, "Oh my!"
Yes, that's right.
I'm trying to do as good of impressions as I can. So.
It's fun. You're doing better than I could. We all have our gifts.
So yes, that spider creature was in the original Return of the Jedi. And they
still continue to be there as part of the story. Yeah. That's fascinating because his palace didn't get destroyed. His barge got destroyed.
Right.
In all explosion glory, which is just totally awesome.
Which there's still a question about that because, okay, in the after credit scene at the end of season 2 of Mandalorian, of course, Bib Fortuna is on the throne. Right. Oh, yeah, I got a comment about that too. Bib Fortuna is on the throne, and Boba Fett comes in and shoots him, kills him. Well, there's question because Bib Fortuna was on the barge.
So how is he alive?
Yeah, how is he alive? How did he survive the explosion of the barge? That's the big question.
That was his twin brother.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
So it was Bob Fortuna that got killed.
Bob Fortuna, right.
Instead of Bib Fortuna.
Right. Well done. That was good.
Nice. Oh, and the thing I wanted to point out about the throne, somebody in a YouTube video I was watching last night about it, they commented that you see that writing at the top of the throne.
Yes. Yeah.
Supposedly that says Boba Fett over and over again.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that will be interesting. Something to look forward to. See that? How interesting.
I thought that was pretty cool, though. I was like, okay, he's got his name on the throne. That's awesome.
That's right.
Now, granted, I don't know if that changed between.
On the picture behind you, I don't see it on there.
Well, his head's in the way too.
Well, his head's in the way too. Yes. Oh, okay. There is kind of some writing on there. Okay.
Right.
Well, all right.
I forget what they call this Star Wars writing. It's Tunisian or
whatever the
Tunisian would be real. I don't know. There's a name for the Star Wars alphabet and such.
Yeah. Isn't that fascinating?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's amazing that Lucasfilms goes to that detail,
Yeah. Well, a lot of them do. Lord of the Rings did. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that's true.
Tolkien created an entire language for the elves and stuff and all. So, yeah. So,
well, in Star Trek, there's a whole Klingon language. So
Klingon language. Yeah. How was that again? You can't do it because you got to get a drink after that. Right.
That's my best Klingon. Sorry.
Right. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's pretty fun. We just watched. Speaking of Star Trek or things, we just watched. I got Galaxy Quest. I love Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest is awesome.
There is on Amazon Prime. There is a documentary that's been released about the making of and the fandom of Galaxy Quest.
Oh, I gotta watch that.
And it is really good. It's really well done. And and part of that they talk about I can't remember the names of the aliens. Kind of, kind of a thing. They talk about how they did that language and how they were cracking each other up and all kinds of stuff. So,
do not tell me they have a full language for that.
I don't know, but it makes you wonder. Yes. Well, it was the one screaming, kind of thing. But anyway, so yeah, they were just cracking each other up and having a good time with it. And stuff.
Oh, that stuff is hilarious, man.
You need to watch that documentary. It's really
I do.
Almost a whole episode about the documentary and the movie. We probably should because I love Galaxy Quest. Hey, everybody, if you love Galaxy Quest, post it down below on Facebook. If you want to hear us do a Galaxy Quest episode, I would love to do it and stuff. So, all right. So we're talking about languages. Star Wars goes into the detail to even have written language as well and stuff like that. And that's what it says on the throne, Boba Fett. I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm looking forward to as we get to the thing. It's only a month and a half away now.
December 29th is the release date.
Well, okay, a little less than 2 months then. A little more than a month.
2 days after my birthday.
That's right. Happy birthday. That's going to be great. Yeah. So, hey, are we going to be doing full episodes for each episode of Boba Fett, do you think?
Do you really have to ask that? Are you kidding? It's Boba Fett, man.
Right. All right, everybody. You heard it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. We're doing episodes, dude. Yeah. You better be ready.
Right. I better be ready. Okay. All right. So now, here's what I want to go back to this trailer. I am excited about seeing this because of the trailer. Because as we stated, he's going to rule with respect. Well, and we started talking about what's that going to look like. Kind of a thing.
Yeah. How does a bounty hunter, the head of a basically gangster, organization, how does he rule with respect? What exactly does that mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm telling you, that brings some intrigue to the show.
Yeah.
It really does.
Now, here's the other thing. I really enjoy Ming-Na Wen, the actress.
Oh, yeah.
I love what she's in, and I think she's doing fabulous in this role. Did you know she's like 60 years old?
Yeah, and she does not look it.
She does not look 60.
Dude, she makes us look old.
Right?
Man, I can only wish to look as good as she does in 10 more years.
Right.
Jeez.
So it's exciting. I think that's exciting to see her this role. I think I have an affinity for characters that are right-hand men, kind of a thing, how they get things done and stuff. And technically she's a right-hand woman, kind of a thing. But
we knew what you meant.
Yeah, thanks. So, but
technically Boba's been a right-hand man. I mean,
I'm excited to see the interaction between the two of them. Yes.
Well, technically Boba's been kind of the right-hand man to Darth Vader himself. Because it's in, according to the legend of Star Wars, Boba Fett's like the only person who's really stood up to Vader and lived to tell about it. And then he's kind of the right-hand man to Jabba the Hutt, too. Of course, if you're reading the latest Bounty Hunter comic books, Jabba put a bounty on his head.
On Boba Fett's head?
Yeah. They got this weird story, and it's like in between Star Wars or Empire and Return. It's almost like they're trying to redo Shadows of the Empire in their own way, like Marvel's trying to redo it in their own way, because Shadows of the Empire originally happened between Empire and Return. And in this storyline, Boba, Han in Carbonite gets stolen from Boba Fett. And, well, if I'm allowed to give a spoiler here for the comic book.
Okay, we're doing spoilerific stuff here for a comic book that's pretty old.
Well, it's not that old. I mean, it's this year.
I thought you were referencing back to Shadow.
Oh, no. I'm referencing to the Bounty Hunter Wars, which is currently happening in Marvel Comics right now.
Okay.
But we find out that what's her name from Solo, Kira.
Oh, yeah.
Kira's alive and well, and Kira is running the organization that they introduced in Solo. I can't think of what it's called now. I want to say Black Shadow, but that's not it. Anyway, she's running that gangster organization.
Now, wasn't that Darth Maul running that?
Yeah, well, I think she's the right-hand man to Darth Maul. Now, they haven't brought Darth Maul into the comic book yet, but I got a feeling we'll probably see him. But yes, you're right. Darth Maul was the head of that. And she kind of becomes his right-hand woman.
Right.
As you said. So, but anyway, basically her group steals Han. Crimson Dawn. Yep, that's it. Okay. Thank you. Her group basically steals the Han frozen in carbonite from Boba. And
that makes sense because she
what? Go ahead.
She had a thing for...
Yeah, well, she's going to auction him off.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what the heck's going on there. I mean, that's weird. I guess there has to be a separation between the two at some point. And
you figure this is happening. Yeah.
I mean, what heck of a way to break
20
up, huh?
years later, she's heading up Crimson Dawn.
Yeah. So apparently she's had a pretty long career. But anyway, Jabba puts a huge price on Boba's head, so he's got like every bounty hunter coming after him. He's got Boss coming after him, Dengar coming after him.
And that's what's causing the whole bounty hunter war.
Yeah, right. And they brought a bounty hunter back from the original Marvel comic books that I love, Valance. He's a cyborg. He's freaking fantastic. I want an action figure of him. He's so cool. But so I mean, there's some fun things in the comic, but it's just a little weird because it's like, really, was there that much time in between Empire and Return to have this happen? I mean, and there was nothing to lead us to believe that Boba lost Han in between there, and that Jabba put this price on. I don't know. It's stretching it a little bit, but I guess it's a fun side story.
Right.
Right.
Huh. Yeah. I don't know. There seemed to be a difference between Luke Skywalker from getting his hand fixed to all of a sudden being in black robes as a Jedi Knight-ish level.
There's definitely a difference there. I mean, I can remember going to see it in the theater, going to see Return of the Jedi in the theater, and when Luke walked in the black robes and he force choked
out those Gamorrean guards,
right? Yeah. Which we've discussed before.
We have.
I mean, I was just like, I was blown away. I'm like, holy cow, he's pretty powerful now. It's like, wow. I was pretty amazed. But so I don't know. I guess I don't know. I just don't. I wasn't sure there'd be enough time for this story in between those two movies.
Do you think that series of comics, that storyline, is going to have some kind of influence or anything into the Boba Fett series, TV series?
I'm still behind a few issues.
Okay.
I got to catch up. I spent a lot of I read several issues last week while I was on vacations.
Right.
Because I'm like, I have so many comics that I got to catch up on, man. And I don't know. It might impact it. I don't know if Marvel, or if Jon Favreau is. I don't know. It's hard to think that Disney is going to hold Jon Favreau to Marvel content. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Mm-hmm. I think the comics are there more to tell stories off of the movies and television than for television and movies to tell stories off of the comic books. You know what I mean? Comic books is more the side material, where TVs and movies are their main material.
Sure. Okay.
I think there'd be a better chance if there was a book, maybe, of that happening, because then you'd have.
You mean a book of the Book of Boba Fett?
Good call. I didn't even think of that. Man, I've been slow this week.
No, you're doing pretty good, actually. I'm just trying to keep up with you.
No, I mean, with some other things, too. It's like,
oh, gotcha.
How come I didn't see that? What the heck's wrong with me? Anyway. Yeah, no, you just completely threw me off.
Well, you were talking about if there was a book. You make a really good distinction about how movies are kind of the core than the TV series, and those together are really the core. I think with Disney Plus, more of the TV series are becoming more core.
Yeah, I think Disney's been more successful especially with Star Wars. I wouldn't say that with Marvel. I'd say Marvel's kind of a toss-up. Sometimes the movies are way more successful, and then sometimes the TV shows are just out of the park successful. Mm-hmm. But with Star Wars, I mean, we can look at that and just plainly see that, The Mandalorian has pretty much blown anything they've done on the big screen out of the water.
Oh.
I mean, as Disney.
Right.
I won't say that for Lucas era. I will not say that for the Lucas era. But for the Disney era, yeah, Mandalorian has blown everything out of the water. So,
So I'm expecting the same thing with Book of Boba Fett, in all openness, because it's the same realm, same world. I think it's going to be fantabulous. Can I take a sidebar about Disney Plus for a moment? I just got a rant about something.
Uh-oh.
So when I first got Disney Plus, when they first released it, I was like, I'll pay for a year. Yeah, sure. Okay, no problem. And we've had that discussion and stuff.
Right.
And I've said, then a month later, Verizon said, hey, get a year on us. So I activated that.
Oh, yeah.
And then my year was up. And instead of kicking in my a subscription that I already paid for, they charged me again. And I was like, huh. So I called them up and I said, look, it doesn't bother me that you charge again. I just want to make sure that my ending date is later on. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I should be 2 years ahead. And they said, yep, Steven, you're totally okay. Sorry about that. Because at the time they told me they couldn't refund it and all. And I said,
hey, I'm impressed you got to talk to a person.
Right. It took a while. So I just wanted to make sure that, when my expiration date was, that's fine. 3 months ago, I get an email. They give me a refund. They said, it was an error on our part. So they give me a refund of my $69.99. I'm like, whatever. Well, Guess what notification I got this week? That when I re-up, it's no longer $69.99 a year. It's $79.99 a year.
Oh. Somehow it doesn't surprise me.
I was like, you refunded that so you could charge me another $10. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? So
well, Disney needs money, man.
Right. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just paying $10 extra for Book of Boba Fett. That's where it came. That's where my brain went.
Well, I look at it this way: Book of Boba Fett's probably going to be worth $10. So,
yeah. Yes.
Lord, I hope so.
Right. It looks good. According to the trailer, we saw the trailer. We saw some great fight sequences. Looks like the two of them get trapped around some shields, or a whole bunch of probably other bounty hunters with shields.
Oh yeah.
around them. And that fight looks like it goes down because that's where you see him take that big old club, roar, and come down and I was like, ooh, he just squished that guy.
Like
so
a
this
bug.
is not your right. This is he. If he's fighting, he's playing for keeps.
Okay,
You
now
know what I mean?
I have a question for you because I've heard some complaints.
Complaints.
And I'm curious of what your thoughts are. I honestly, I don't really care. It doesn't bother me.
Okay.
But there's some complaints about how often he takes off his helmet throughout the trailer.
No, it doesn't bother me whatsoever.
Yeah, me neither.
And actually, I think I prefer it. How shall I say this? With interactions, I think it's great for him to have it off because then you get to see him as an actor. And he's a good actor, from what I understand.
Well, now, The Mandalorian proved that it's pretty intense with the helmet. Because, for the longest time, we had the rule, the Mandalorian doesn't take off his helmet. Which
Right.
I questioned that rule all the way through it. And then we got to Bo-Katan, and she's like, no, you're just like a crazy...
Zealot.
Zealot.
It was a zealot.
Yeah.
That was a zealot when she don't take it off.
Right, you're a crazy zealot. That's the reason you don't take your helmet off. But us Mandalorians, we actually take our helmets off. And from everything we had seen throughout the Clone Wars, the Mandalorians were taking their helmets off all the time.
Right.
But we had been used to Boba Fett not seeing Boba. Of course, we got maybe a total of 15 minutes between two films, if even that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes of Boba Fett. And sure, you're not going to see him without a helmet during that time. But, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, it ruins the mystique of him. Really? The mystique?
I don't think so.
Well, no. I mean, we know what he looks like. There's no mystery. What the heck is wrong with you people? The mystery was broken years ago, long before Disney took over. I mean, we saw what Boba Fett looked like when we got introduced to Jango Fett. That's what Boba Fett looks like. Guess what? Same actor.
I know, which is great.
Right. I love him. He's fantastic. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me, but I'm seeing stuff on YouTube that people have been complaining that, well, he takes off his helmet too much. Oh, shut up.
It's the trailer. It's just a trailer.
Right.
Here's the thing about a trailer. Did you get you excited about seeing it? For me, absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next 7 weeks to go by.
And you know what?
Yes.
I love the helmet. I absolutely love it. And I love the look. And yes, there is something about that stare down that Boba Fett gives, There is something to be said about that. I mean, we even talked about that with Mark Anthony Austin when in his part when he's walking across the camera and he kind of pauses and looks at the camera and there's this question.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Right, so there is something to be said about that.
Yes.
But at the same time, I want to see Tamara Morrison's face, I want to see him. We know he's under it. We know what he looks like, and guess what? The more we see his face, the more we know that he's actually in the suit. I question whether, what's his name that plays Mandalorian? I question whether he was even on set.
Oh, Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal. I question whether Pedro was even on set for most of 1 and 2.
Yeah, because you heard different rumors.
Uh-huh.
You heard different rumors.
I heard a lot of times that most of the time he wasn't even on set. He was only there when they took the helmet off. And in season 1, they only took the helmet off, 2-3 times?
Right.
They didn't take it off very much. They took it off a little more in season 2, So we saw him a little bit more. We know that he was under that helmet then. But
that's a good point. I like that.
So at
Nothing
least we
against
know.
Pedro Pascal.
Oh no! I've
enjoyed him as the Mandalorian. I think he's great.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything bad about him.
But you make a good distinction on. Now we know that. Yeah, Mr. Morrison is in the suit.
Yep, and this proves it.
Now we do know that for the action sequences, we know it's like 12 other guys in the
Right,
in the Boba Fett suit. That
was
was that Mark? Was that Mark who told us that?
Yeah, Mark said that it's getting kind of crowded in the Slave One.
In the Slave One.
but then again, his Slave One is the movie Slave One, so there's less of them than there is the TV one. So.
Okay, right. Right. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So let me ask you this. I want to ask you a couple of questions about some of your predictions about the show. One, do you think we will get to see our second favorite bounty hunter,
Cad Bane,
in live action?
I've heard rumors, but I have not.
I loved it that someone created artwork that put him on the throne.
Oh my gosh.
We posted that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man. At first I thought it was an actual reveal kind of a thing because it was so well done. But I was like, oh no, this is fan art. But boy, does it look good.
Okay, if we don't get him and the story is good, I'll be fine. But I'm gonna think that it's a missed opportunity if we don't get him. And there's been some people who are like, well, how would he look in live action? You know what? They've done amazing with some of these characters that, have just blown me away. I think they can do an amazing Cad Bane. So I'm hopeful that we will see him.
I love seeing Cad Bane in Bad Batch.
Yes.
And what I would love to see him live action. I would say if we see Cad Bane, this is my prediction. If we see Cad Bane, so let's say we won't see him till the very end, because that will be the third season or the second season.
Okay,
of Book of Boba Fett.
My prediction for Cad Bane: if we see him, we are going to get the live action version of that unreleased scene from the Clone Wars, where Boba and Cad have that showdown.
But he's already got the dent in his helmet.
Right, but I think we're going to get flashbacks in this.
Oh, a flashback to...
Mm-hmm. Yes, I see the dent right above your head in the picture behind you. Yes, you're right. But there's been rumors that this show, we're going to see flashbacks. We may see how he escapes the Salak pit.
That was my next question. If you thought we're going to see,
I think we will. I think we're going to. I think we're going to get that story.
Do you think they're going to show it, or do you think they're just going to mention it in passing?
I don't know. There's part of me that wants to see him crawl out of the Salak pit. I want to see him crawl out of it, and I want either Dengar or somebody to find him half-eaten, just like it's described in the book. Years ago, there was I think it was called Bounty Hunter Wars 2. I have the books. I'll have to look. But years ago, there was a Bounty Hunter series which basically introduced this whole idea that Boba did not die and was not digested over thousands of years in the Salak's belly, like was described in the film. That he actually survived, and Dengar found him. Dengar nursed him back to health, and Dengar says to him, "How did you escape the Salak pit?" And he looks at Dengar and says, "The Salak found me indigestible." I want to hear him say
You want to hear that line.
Yes. If nothing else, I'm going to get Mark Anthony Austin to say it to me.
And have him say it.
Right.
Oh, we should. That's our cameo. That's our cameo. We ask him to say that.
The Salak found me indigestible. I just want that line. I want that so bad.
Get him to do that. We should get him to do that. Oh my goodness, yeah. So what other predictions do you think you have for the show?
Well, I think we're going to see more of our bounty hunters. I think we'll get Bosk back, which I'm looking forward to. Seeing Bosk back on the screen. I'm looking forward to seeing Dengar too. I think that would be cool. It'd be really cool to see IG-88. They got to have IG-8. We had IG-11 in in the Mandalorian. So
Mandalorian. 88 comes back.
They got to have IG-88 come back, and I want to see him in his full glory. I know technically we already saw it with IG-11, but I want to see IG-88. And then the other two bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back, Zuckuss and 4-LOM, 4-LOM, whichever you want to say. Which there's a fun history with those two, because Star Wars Kenner action figures. Kenner, well, it depends on how you look at it. Okay, Kenner released 4-LM or 4-LOM, however you pronounce it, as a mail-in order action figure only. You couldn't buy it in stores when it first came out. You had to buy like 4 Star Wars action figures, send in the proofs of purchases, and you got 4-LOM. Okay. Well, they actually reversed the names of 4-LM and Zuckuss.
Oh, did they?
On the original action figures. So there are fans out there who refuse to call Zuckuss and calls him 4-LM, and refuse to call 4-LM calls him Zuckuss.
Because of the naming of the
Kenner action figures. Because you got to admit, Kenner named a bunch of the characters that they didn't actually have names for. Kenner was like, well, we'll call this one, I don't know, Buttface. You know? What not, you know? So, and there's an interesting little history behind 4-LM also. Supposedly, Lucas came up with that name, which I believe Lucas came up with the name. But the name actually stands for the love of money. 4-LOM. And he is a bounty hunter. So
right on.
I love that. I think that's so cool.
Very interesting.
So yeah, I want to see 4-LM and I want to see Zuckuss. They will be awesome, and they've been awesome in the comic books. I have to say, I've enjoyed them in the comic books. And IG-88's been awesome in the comic book too. So I want to see all the bounty hunters in their glory.
Right. I hear you.
And then, are they working for Boba, or are they working against Boba?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That'll be another fun thing to wait for. So we'll see.
It should be interesting. I'm excited about it. I think it looks like a great story.
Yeah.
Looks like a great story.
Now, I think we're only getting 6 episodes, though. Is that correct?
Let me see.
It's going to be a short series.
How many episodes? Episodes of
Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett. Here we go. The answer is 8.
8. Oh, okay. So 8's not too bad.
Episodes.
So the big question is, do you have enough time to have all of the classic bounty hunters in the 8 episodes? That's a big question.
We're not.
So I think for sure we'll get Bosk. Actually, I think it's been confirmed Bosk is going to be in it. I mean, you already have Trandoshan sitting right there at the table with him. So why wouldn't you also bring in the big Trandoshan, Bosk, which somewhere around here I have an action figure of too. And I haven't heard any rumors about Dengar, but I want to see Dengar. And I think you have to do IG-88. So I guess if they left off any, they'd leave off 4-LM and Zuckuss. But
right.
That's on my Christmas wish list, you know.
Right.
I want bounty hunters for Christmas.
All I want for Christmas are my bounty hunters, my bounty hunters, my bounty hunters.
I hope we don't get a copyright strike for that.
Right. You never know. Oh, man. So I think this looks great. I want me to see it. And here's the other part. it makes me want to go ahead and pay my 10 extra bucks for Disney Plus so that.
Well, I hope you plan on it because we're going to do episodes on it.
Right. Well, mine doesn't renew until March. So,
gotcha.
But they enacted. I think it goes into effect next week. Is the whole 10 extra bucks?
I don't know when mine gets renewed because I did the whole 3-year thing. When it was first announced, they did a special where if you paid for 3 years in advance, I forget what I got and stuff, but I was like, yeah, I'll just do the 3 years in advance. So that's what I did. But yeah,
it's all that Star Wars content.
Yeah, that's pretty much what sold me. You know, I'm like, okay, if you're going to have all the Star Wars content, I'm in for the ride. So, I got to say they were slow getting to the TV side of things. Took a long time to get to Mandalorian, but I was happy with what we got.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I thought that was some of the best work they've done since they took over. So yeah, I think this has potential of actually topping The Mandalorian. You know, honestly...
Big words. I like it.
Well, you know, technically, there was supposed to be a Boba Fett movie. And then with all the things that was going on with Disney and everything, they canned the idea of the Boba Fett movie, and they came up with The Mandalorian instead. And I kind of wonder, did they think that, okay, let's not do the Boba Fett movie, let's do this so we can introduce a new character, someone totally new and totally separate from everything we've seen, which, you know, in hindsight, I think it was a great idea. I'm happy with it. But at the same time, he's basically Boba Fett. And he almost was. You know, it was almost like, okay, this is the Boba Fett movie without Boba Fett. And then when that was such a big success, they're like, okay, let's see if we can bring back Boba Fett. And I think that was the test. Mm-hmm. And then when they seen how popular it was to bring back Boba Fett, they're like, yeah, this is the right move. We got to make a TV series of Boba Fett.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that's just my thinking. That's what I think they were doing. I don't have any insight there. It's not like I know anyone at Disney, so. Yeah, me and Bob Iger talk all the time.
Right. We're just a couple of buds who just talk and enjoy talking about all things geekdom. So it's all good.
But that's what I've put together. That's okay. In my head. That's my Disney headcanon.
That's your Disney headcanon. I love it.
Cool.
All right. Well, hey, with that, everybody, thanks so much for joining us for this discussion on the Boba Fett trailer and some Boba Fett discussion, history, and all that kind of stuff. So it should be good. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm very thankful for the trailer. It does make me want to see the show.
Oh, me too. All right. I guess we're closing out. So
yeah, I'm all done. Yeah.
With that said, I find the Salak pit found me indigestible. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,